From the old movies of 30 years ago and beyond,
to the world of the new films of the last 30 years.
To the movies that are now playing, this is Old, New, and Now Playing. And now, here's your host, Will Robinson Smith.
Hello and welcome to Old, New, and Now Playing, your time machine through the world of movies. I'm your host, Will Robinson Smith. So good to be joining you in 2019, talking about our very first review of the year. And I know what you might be thinking. You may be looking at the title of this video and thinking to yourself, maybe out loud, Will, didn't this movie come out in 2018? Isn't this kind of an older film to be reviewing in the Now Playing? Well, yes, it did have, I think it was a September 2018 release. And, you know, for some communities, you were able to see it, and that's fantastic. But there's two reasons why I'm talking about it right now. Number one is it was just released in the Huntsville market, so I'm finally being able to see it, which is fantastic. And number two, it is one of 5 films that is nominated for an Academy Award in the Best Documentary section. And so with the Academy Awards that were just announced recently, the awards themselves coming around the corner, I thought, what better time for all of us that are now finally being able to see this documentary, Free Solo, to actually take the time to talk about it, give you my thoughts on it. And this is the first documentary I'm actually reviewing, so, you know, I'm excited to dive into this and was really looking forward to watching this. There were a number of great docs that came out last year. Unfortunately, Won't You Be My Neighbor was not nominated for an Academy Award, which I was a little disappointed about. But talking about this one, Free Solo, if you haven't seen the trailers, it's about a guy named Alex Honnold, who is attempting to be the first person to ever free solo El Capitan, which is a more than 3,000 foot sheer cliff in Yosemite National Park, which a little bit of history about me is one of the parks that I grew up with as a child. My family always used to go every year to Yosemite and hike the reasonable trails, not doing any of this crazy free soloing stuff or, you know, even attempting to climb El Capitan. It was something that you were at the base of the valley, you looked up at it, you said, that's awe-inspiring, that's amazing, that looks so cool. And then you see the little dots of people like climbing it and you just think, they're nuts. Well, clearly there are a lot of people that are far braver than I. My hands were sweating throughout the entire movie, and Alex is clearly a much more brave soul than I will ever be, as are the many people that do end up hiking and, you know, scaling the faces of mountains like Half Dome and El Capitan. And so from the perspective of the documentary, one of the things that I really enjoyed about this was just, I mean, so I saw it in IMAX, and if you have the chance to see it, go see it in the largest format possible, because the cinematography really is one of the best parts about this movie. You know, just watching this amazing achievement of human endurance and just tenacity in and of itself is an amazing feat, but the way that the cinematography team is able to not only capture all these grand vistas as you're watching Alex scale this mountain, and you see him at various points, you know, working on this summit. So, you know, to see all the ways that they're able to capture the moments of his movements with the shifts of his grip, or as he moves his foot from one impossible looking angle to another even more impossible looking angle, is just such an amazing combination of different camera angles that they were able to achieve. You know, working with, I imagine, the Foley artist that was involved, along with the team capturing the natural sound in the environment, was just a nice, amazing synthesis of this experience. And, you know, the team that actually went up with him, obviously, you know, they're putting their lives in a certain degree of danger, but also, you know, kudos to Alex for just having the ability in the moments where you see him climbing to just go into this tunnel vision that he has and be able to drown out all the people that are around him in a way that allows him to continue this amazing feat. So as I was watching the movie, you know, just seeing him do this thing, you know, I got teary-eyed at the end, honestly, just because this is literally something that has never been done in the history of humanity. For someone to be free soloing El Capitan is just an amazing human feat. And like I said, my palms were literally sweating for like the last 30 minutes of the movie as, you know, I was watching him do these things. And what's nice about the movie is that, or one of the nice things is, obviously being a documentary and, you know, a feature-length one that's told over the span of a number of months, the editor did a nice job of picking and choosing the moments in Alex's life that really helped flesh him out as a character that we were able to follow. You got a sense of his mentality and, you know, what was driving him to do all these incredible climbs that a lot of us just really can't even fathom even starting to attempt. You know, the background in his psychology, the relationships that he has with his girlfriend and his mother and the climbing crew that's with him. You know, I felt like all of that was really fleshed out, and you got a lot of good perspectives on what everyone was thinking as this process was going along, as they were with him, but not in his shoes. I mean, they, you know, obviously everyone around him was climbing with the support of ropes and, you know, tethers that allowed them to be a good bit more safe than he was, but obviously they're on the side of a Capitan, so you're never quite safe. But, you know, so I felt like they fleshed out the characters in a really nice way. They found moments to, you know, hit you with the drama of the moment, but because, you know, it's a documentary, it just felt so genuine, you know, why they were having these moments of tension. You know, when Alex and his girlfriend are talking about, you know, these moments of like why he's climbing and, you know, whether he should be doing this, it just felt like such a raw point in her life, seeing and imagining what she must be going through, seeing the person that she loves so much do this thing that she just can't understand why he's doing it. And, you know, so that struggle was really cinematically fantastic to watch. And like, even knowing going into this movie that he survives, that, you know, considering the climb happened in 2017, this movie came out in 2018, we're now in 2019, clearly if he had died, we would have known about it. You know, if you cared to see this movie, if you knew it was coming out, it was being produced, if he had died during the hike, it would have made probably national news, because he has been, you know, in the public spotlight as a free soloer for a number of years. I think he said 8 at one point was the amount of time he'd been free soloing and like really in the spotlight. So knowing that he survives, even knowing that he survives, there are so many moments watching this movie where you can't, there's just a sense that you're not really sure if he's going to make it. Like the tension always feels extraordinarily palpable. And you're rooting for him, you're afraid for him. I mean, this documentary does, you know, what a lot of good narrative movies do, and a lot of works of fiction that try to elicit tension and drama, in that you just feel so, by the time, you know, in each one of his climbs, you feel really attached to Alex and, you know, what he's going through, even though he's kind of a distant person, like you really feel for him and fear for him and empathize with what he's going through. And I felt like the structure of the story really lent to, and I thought it was nicely paced considering how much time goes by in the movie. I felt like it never really lagged at any particular point. Like I said, I felt like all the characters in the movie were really realized in a nice way, that you got a sense of what they were about and why they were in this space. So, you know, this is definitely one that if you have the chance to see it, now that it's gone a little bit to the wider point, you know, that it's been out for a while, you can probably see it in a movie theater near you. If you can't see it, I would say suggest to see it on the biggest format possible, just because you want to be able to really fully take in everything that's going on, not just in the action, but also just the sense of, you know, beauty that this movie evokes. You know, it's produced in part by National Geographic, and clearly, you know, they have an eye for evoking the beauty of where they're shooting and really being able to show off all the places he is climbing in, like Morocco, Yosemite, around Las Vegas. And it's just amazing to take in all of these amazing and wonderful vistas that you see throughout the movie. So if you're looking to add a good documentary to your watch list and you're tired of just seeing things on the small screen on Netflix, I would say definitely good times are ahead if you decide to watch Free Solo. I don't think you'll be disappointed. It is heart-pounding, it is exhilarating, it is beautiful and terrifying, and has elements of horror, and if you're like me and you're afraid of heights, it will have you on the edge of your seat and very glad you're not on the edge of the cliff alongside Alex. So those are my thoughts on Free Solo. If you have a chance to see the movie, I want to know, what did you think about it, and what is the best documentary you've seen last year, and especially if it's one of the ones that was nominated for the Academy Awards that are coming up in just a few weeks. Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. And guys, thank you. It's going to be a fantastic 2019. Cannot wait to talk more movies with you in the near future. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Ring the bell to be notified of all the videos that come out as they come out. Be good to yourself, be good to others. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, I will see you next time.